hear me, you can see me, and it's a pleasure to meet you all again. I've come back. You know, we will hopefully now go through without any more technical glitches. But as I said earlier, it's a pleasure to be here. I'll just recap on what I said. The intention of this webinar, you know, is to connect with you, just to give you some information, you know, about what to expect in Sesimbra, to give you some information about the course itself, you know, how to participate best, how to get the best from the program, you know, of a certification process, you know, and what you can do after, you know. So as I say, I am really excited, you know, to be going back to Sesimbra. We were there last year, and it really is a wonderful place. You know, it's 40 minutes south of Lisbon. It's a resort, but it's not too touristic. You know, it's quite upmarket in that sense. You know, at that time of year, you know, it's great because it's just busy enough. You know, the restaurants are open. You know, there's a lot of things to do as well as a training course. There's another message coming up here. So there's another, so there's a lot of things to do as well as a training course. You know, it's great if you want to bring your family or hang out for a vacation after. You know, the weather now there is, the weather there in May, it's nice and warm, but it's not too hot. So it's perfect for study, really. You know, where you're in a lovely environment that won't be too crowded because of the time of year. The weather will be just right for us. You know, so you better go to the beach. You know, a lot of people go and meditate at the beach in the morning, or go down there in the evening sometimes, do yoga, or just hang out. Some people, you know, take the guitars down there. But it's very, very good. It's a very nice time of year to be there. You know, and the hotel literally is overlooking the ocean. So as I say, I'm excited to be going back. You know, we do an NLP in the Sun series once a year. We did it in Spain for 6 years. Now we did it in Portugal for these 2 years. We're looking at Italy for next year in Europe, you know, and maybe some venues as well in other parts of the world to take this wonderful series of courses that we do once a year, NLP in the Sun, John Carmen and myself. One of the key things, you know, about working with John and Carmen together is, you know, we really love what we do. We love working together. We all bring, as you can see Carmen and John behind me, you know, they're not the real ones, obviously. We love working together. We have a lot of fun together. We really bring out the best of each other when we train together. So, you know, John Carmen and I really do enjoy working together, and we love our work, you know, so it's not really work, you know, it's a way of life. You know, so it's just a great thing to be able to do, to share these skills that you're going to be learning, you know, with a wonderful group of people like yourselves. Last year on the course, we had people from 49 different countries. We did a count the other day, and we're what, on 35, Matal? 36. This year we've got 36 different countries, you know, but we're still taking bookings, you know, so, you know, we're hoping to push the numbers up to make it truly an international experience. You know, I always say, you know, you can learn NLP locally, which is you can, or in your hometown, which is a great thing to do, of course. You know, but then you're learning to do NLP with people, you know, very similar to yourself. You know, now with us, you know, you're learning how to do NLP and NLP coaching with people, you know, from many different cultures, many different societies. You know, so it really is a nice flexibility challenge for you as a practitioner of NLP or a coach, you know, to enjoy working with people, you know, who are, you know, very, perhaps come from a different culture, country, or even continent than yourself. So it's really an international experience. I'm going to switch over to a PowerPoint presentation in a moment, just to guide you through what I'm going to talk about. I just want to say, personally, as the owner of this company and the founder of the NLP Academy, I'd like to thank you personally for choosing the NLP Academy. You know, it's always a great pleasure for me to meet the people who choose our company. And it's always my goal on a course, you know, to deliver something outstanding and to deliver to you more than we expect, you know. So thank you very much, as I say, for choosing NLP Academy. And I am really, really looking forward to meeting you personally, you know, on the course. So I'm just going to flip over to a PowerPoint to go through the process now. So, okay. Now I can wear my glasses. I work here with my son, Josh, and he was telling me earlier that presidents never wear glasses. Apparently, it looks like you're hiding something, but for me, I need them to see sometimes for text. So NLP in the Sun Sesimbra 2018. And what a magnificent experience it's going to be. As I said earlier, the whole team here are very excited to be putting this together. We work hard to put it together, and to go there and sort of to go there and to then deliver it. It really is one of the highlights of our year. So it's a great delight to be able to do that. So this is what we're going to cover in the webinar. Sesimbra, the region, transportation, accommodation, course structure. There's 2 courses, NLP Core Skills Diploma and the International Coaching Certification with New Code NLP. Those are 2 modules. Now, for those of you taking both modules, that will constitute of your NLP practitioner with International Coaching Certification as well. So it's a full practitioner course, the 2 courses combined, and a coaching course as well. It's very unique in the field of NLP. As I say, we are offering an experience where you'll learn practitioner classic code of NLP, which is what most people teach out there. We're going to learn new code NLP, which is the latest pattern developed by John Grinder, Carmen, and myself. And you're going to learn some really cool coaching tools, again, that aren't available anywhere else, that John, Carmen, and I have developed through our practical experience. So there's the agenda: Sesimbra, the region, transportation, accommodation, course structure, and also logistics, course documentation, certificates, balance payments, and your language choice, and next steps after the course. So, and we'll come to language choice in a moment when we go through. Okay, so most people, will probably fly into Lisbon International Airport. That's the closest airport to the venue. It's 40 minutes. Small airport. Well, it's a big airport, but the terminal I fly into is relatively small, but you might be flying into a different one. So yes, it's the main airport in Lisbon. 40 minutes. We have actually a very good rate with a local taxi driver in Sesimbra who'll come up and pick you up. You want to share rides, we can sort of exchange that information in the Facebook group, and it is a very good deal. It's a lot cheaper than the standard taxis, and it's even cheaper than Uber. What's the price, Mattel? I think it's 35 euros, which is actually great value to go from Lisbon down to Sesimbra. So 35 euros, and that information is on our website. And again, you may want to post in the Facebook group for anyone else who's arriving at the same time, just to check in, and you can share a ride, get to know people. Next slide. There's the hotel. It's the Hotel Sesimbra Hotel and Spa. Again, beautiful hotel, overlooking the sea, as you can see. Lovely infinity pool there, also overlooking the sea. And so it's a great place to work and take a course. As I say, many people even did some of the exercises last year down on the beach. We do some of our exercises do lend themselves to be done outside. People enjoyed yoga in the morning there last year, Tai Chi as well. In the evenings we do put on extra sessions, so there are sessions there for you to attend. The course, and I'll come to this later on in the module, we have 20 mentors, 20 mentors, and these are all already NLP trainers who are trained to be new code trainers. So they work directly with us. They're on their own program, adjacent to yours, but they will be supporting you. John Carmen and I do the main training, but all your exercises are going to be supervised quite closely, by mentors. You'll be assigned a mentor as well for the program. Well, actually the mentors will change, but for different parts of the program, you have different mentors to support you. And the mentors, they're very enthusiastic because they're learning to become trainers. They put on a lot of extra stuff in the evening to share their skills, their NLP skills. So, the evenings, we do put on, some extra sessions, but there's still time, obviously, to go out. You want to get out and relax. There's still time to go down to the beach after, enjoy a great meal. So there's the hotel. Now, we also got alternative accommodation. We've got good contacts in Sesimbra, who's rents out apartments on behalf of their owners. So, if you perhaps wanted something different from the hotel and the apartment, because, self-catering, you can enjoy cooking your own food, a little bit more privacy, make it a little bit more like a home, you can. And also what people sometimes do is share apartments with people on the course. So again, if you want to consider that option, you can put that in a Facebook group, and you can share with a course colleague. And people have made great friends through the years, because obviously there is a bit of studying to do, so to share with somebody who's on the course, gives you an opportunity to have a catch up in the evening, what you've learned, and, share your experiences with that person, and start little study groups. So if you go onto our website, you can look at the special offers that we have for the Cimbra Hotel and Spa, but also the alternative accommodation option as well. Last year we did these courses in 2 hotels, because of just the way the hotels were working at the time, and I stayed in the hotels, and it's great, but I'm there 6 weeks, and so I'm going for the apartment option this year. I travel a lot, and as much as I like eating out on hotel food, I do like home cooking, and not always sitting in a hotel restaurant or outside. So I'm definitely getting an apartment, just so I can have just a bit more of a home feel. Next slide. So Cimbra really is a great place. It's a tourist resort, but it's not like well known like other parts like Cascais, which is near to Lisbon. So it's quite exclusive. As you can see, there is a fishing village. It's got beautiful restaurants. It's lovely buildings. It's just a lovely place to be. It's a great part of the world. And I say a lot of people last year, and also we do it in Spain. They take their family sometimes, their wives, their boyfriends, their partners, girlfriends. Just to have a little holiday after. So if you are from another part of the world, another part, a lot of people coming in from South America or Africa or Asia. You don't want to hang out in Europe, it's a great place. It really is a lovely place to be. And the food is brilliant. The fish is very fresh. If you love fish, you're going to love Cimbra. The fish is fresh, out the sea the day before, sometimes that morning. It really, really is great food. Really is, as I say, great seafood. So that's Cimbra. I say it's 40 minutes from Lisbon. It's not a really big town, but it's large enough for us to run this course there. There's 2 main hotels, and a couple of smaller hotels as well. And again, there's a lot of, if you like climbing or nature, there's a nature reserve right by, big national park, which actually a part of, which actually incorporates those mountains you can see in the background. So it's very good if you want to do hiking, walking, climbing, in your spare time, the day off, or hang out after to enjoy those activities. So let's now go to the course structure and modules. As I said earlier, if you're going for the whole experience, which is the NLP practitioner and international coaching certification, you're going to see there are 2 modules. Module 1's core skills diploma. Now that's core skills, where it says diploma, some people have just taken module 1 as a diploma. So module 1 is core skills course, and I'm going to come to what that means in a moment, the core skills. Module 2 is the international coaching certification with New Code NLP. And just to get this clear, I teach those first 5 days, module 1, on the 14th to 18th of May. And then John Carwin and myself teach the second 8 days, the last days of evaluation. And out of those 7 days of training, John and Carmen teach 5, and I teach 2. So it's technically 7 days of training and 1 day of evaluation there. So let's have a look at some of the material you will cover in these different modules. So core skills. Now, as you probably are aware, NLP was originally created in the 1970s by Richard Bandler and John Grinder. So it's a great pleasure and privilege, I think, to be able to take this course, the coach experience, with John Grinder, the co-creator of NLP. In this module, I'll obviously be teaching this module, but I'm talking about the next module. I'll talk about John. Now, obviously, in the 1970s, Bandler and Grinder created NLP. We now call that work classic code NLP. Now in most other training companies, what we call classic code NLP, they call NLP. And And that is what they're teaching. They're teaching NLP in the 1970s. And that's the bedrock of the future patterns. You know, because a lot more has happened since 1970 or 1980 when John and Richard sort of parted company, and that's what you're going to learn in the second module. So core skills is really classic code NLP. You're going to learn your rapport skills. Calibration, that's the art of detecting non-verbal behavior, you know, change through tonal shifts and body language. NLP language patterns. So in NLP language patterns, you jump down there, you've got language of precision questions and hypnotic communication, plus the language patterns of the representational systems. Obviously, we're going to cover the representational systems, visual, auditory, kinesthetic, how to communicate in each pattern, each way. But also, you know, then what goes on from there are a number of interventions that are based on representational systems. You know, hypnotic communication is how to, you know, in a coaching session, you know, or any session really, is how to communicate in a way that's engaging and does capture the unconscious mind, the unconscious mind of the client. So it's how to communicate on multi-levels. And in classic code NLP interventions, you know, what that is how to simply change formats, you know, some parts integration, swish patterns, anchoring should be on this list really, anchoring formats, you know, all of these patterns that are designed, you know, in the classic code to get change. These 5 days for the new people is to really give you a boot camp experience. It's going to be intense. It's going to be fun. It will be intense to give you a boot camp experience. When I'm in a boot camp, an immersion, you know, in 5 days in core skills. You know, because I want the people who are on this module, you know, for these 5 days, many of you are new to NLP, to be red hot, you know, when you go into module 2. Because, you know, these are the foundations, you know, especially with calibration, you know, the ability to detect difference, the use of multiple representation systems, the use of detecting lead, pattern, and favor pattern. You know, the distinction between those two, eye accessing cues, the ability to recognize the modality someone is accessing at that time through calibrating their eyes, and other non-verbal shifts as well, the ability to calibrate that. You know, of course, anchoring, you know, is a key NLP skill. You know, and there's so many ways you can anchor, you know, particularly in coaching with your tonality and in hypnotic communication with your tonality, how you capture states through tonality. So that's core skills. And as I say, those core skills, 14th to 18th of May. Now, if you book the international coaching program, because you've already done core skills, but you want to revise or you just like the idea of this, get in contact with Josh or Ricardo here, and, you know, they can support you, you know, to get onto that first module. You know, because the second module, people will be coming in who already are practitioners. And I always say, excuse me, I always say, you know, practice, 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 practice. You know, and some people think, oh, you know, the basics are basic. You know, anybody who thinks the basics are basic probably doesn't understand NLP, you know. The basics are not basic. The basics are fundamental. You know, I see a lot of people out there who've gone through NLP courses very quickly and haven't mastered the basics. To a certain extent, NLP is like a martial art. You know, if you haven't mastered the fundamentals, the core processes in your martial art, you know, you won't excel. So, you know, if you are on the module 2 and you'd like to get on with, as I say, have a chat with Josh or Ricardo, and we can support you to make that happen. You know, the great thing is you get an extra 5 days in Portugal. So that's core skills. We take a day off then. The day off is on the 19th of May. And then 20th of May, we start the international coaching certification with New Code NLP. Now, this module is different. I'm going to say now, there is nothing like this in NLP, with the exception of the people we've licensed to teach this program. And it's a very exclusive program, you know, and it falls into sort of these 2 distinct parts running through this. Obviously, all the classic code stuff, but it's coaching, obviously, how to coach in a way that is so different from what is taught in the standard coaching courses, and how to apply New Code NLP. So let me start with New Code NLP. You know, and again, for this module, a lot of different people have been coming in who are already practitioners of NLP. John Grinder looked at NLP right about 1982, 1983. It was up and running. It was mushrooming. It was really expanded, actually. And he noticed a few things that he would like to have done differently if he was doing it again. And he also noticed ways that he thought he could get faster, more effective change by using a different style of process at a different style of interventions. That's a completely different logical level. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go into this right now, but there are a lot of articles about New Code NLP on my website. And also there's a couple of videos, or quite a few videos on it as well, where I do make very, very explicit the difference in classic and New Code NLP. So what are you going to learn? You're going to learn the New Code NLP change format. And the New Code NLP change format, is the bedrock of the change system there. It's universal across the New Code change format. The New Code NLP processes for change. We have many patterns here for change. You may have heard of New Code NLP games. Now, New Code NLP game creates or instigates a high performance state that can be generalized across context. New Code NLP is very much about high performance, and how you can create or build high performance, across multiple contexts in your life, and support the people who you are coaching have high performance in their life as well. So you've got a 3-stage coaching protocol. This is something I've developed. Each stage works at different levels, of course. So you've got stage 1, which is kind of identifying how that client holds constant in their world. How do they hold their world consistent? How do they stay stuck? It's $1 million question. How does someone stay stuck? And they do it in several ways. Usually if you look at someone who is challenged or stuck, if you know this language I'm using, you'll be familiar with it. So you've usually got 2 or 3 stuck meta model patterns. Those stuck meta model patterns will hold through their language the problem they're experiencing constant. There's usually a stuck perceptual position. Sometimes they're stuck in first, can't see beyond it. Sometimes they're stuck in second, or sometimes third, but more often than not, they're stuck in first or second, depending on the structure of the problem. There's usually a stuck representational system, often kinesthetic, but not always. And there's then usually quite a vivid metaphor that's associated with this as well, and a hidden intention. All of these things hold constant someone's present state. If you change those, that person now recognizes they've got choice. And it also puts them in a position to take responsibility or ownership for what they are creating through their perception and language. The next stage, once someone's become unstuck, now we create a context for high performance. So we do the New Code processes now. That person has taken responsibility. They've recognized, by changing their language patterns, by having access to multiple representational systems, multiple perceptual positions, different metaphors, that they have choice. They may not have the resources yet, but they recognize they have choice. So the next thing is to create the resources through high performance. And this is where the New Code processes come in, to create a context of high performance in the area of life where the client is working. And then the last stage then is the future, which can be metaphor, outcome, or tasking. I think tasking is a very effective way to have someone to experience the new resources. So a non-linear coaching format, non-verbal coaching. It's important that you can influence a client non-verbally, through the way you use your body, and you can instigate change that way. Provocative coaching. You're not there to be their friend. You're there to help them change. Sometimes it might require a provocation to get that moving. Obviously, provocation will come with rapport. Metaphors, metaphors are a great way of layering change, embedded metaphors, and a lot of different ways you can use metaphor, from short analogies to nested stories to multi-embedded quotes and so on. So metaphors are a key part of this. Congruency testing, it's important that you know how to test congruency, and you can sometimes test congruency through misdirection. You know, so it's another non-linear coaching process. You know, you can, through misdirection, is a really cool way of testing congruency, you know, rather than just testing it in the standard way, you know, because if somebody has got a simultaneous parts conflict, a sequential parts conflict where the other part is hidden, standard congruency testing sometimes is a bit of a challenge. Congruency testing means how that person is congruent with their new choices. And pattern detection. So people have patterns within patterns within patterns. You know, so to a certain extent, you know, pattern detection is like an onion, where you peel away a layer and then you see another layer. You know, you peel away a layer, you see another layer. You know, so pattern detection is a key part of this. And the clients sometimes don't even know their pattern. You know, the pattern's so hidden in them. They know the problem, but they don't know the pattern. So pattern detection. Intention, as you know, if you study NLP, we say all behavior has a positive intention, you know, but also there's a hidden intention. And the hidden intention anchors in secondary gain. So this is a really, really exciting module. You know, it really is revolutionary. It is so, so different from anything else that's out there. John Carmen and I worked it out the other day. You know, we've got 94 years. Is it 94? Yeah? Or was it 94 last year?
Over 94.
So it's 97 now. Because it was 94 last year. So we've got 97 years of combined experience. That is one hell of a lot of experience. You know, obviously John Grinder co-created NLP. He's been in the game since it began in 1972. Carmen was, you know, a very successful businesswoman, a business leader, leading teams. So, you know, to be a team leader, you're a coach naturally. And then, you know, she, I think, has gone into NLP around 1986. I got in NLP sort of 93, 94, professionally 95. You know, so we got a lot of experience. And for me, you know, I love what I do. You know, I've been doing it 20 years and I'm as excited today as I was 20 years ago. You know, I've been telling my team here today, I'm so excited to be doing this webinar because, you know, we've done so much to bring this course together. And this is my first contact with you. You know, and I'm just so looking forward to meeting you all. So, you know, for us, we've got a great team of trainers with 94 years of experience. It's 97, sorry. And John Carmen and I do bring something very different. You know, we are very, very, very different to each other, which is actually what adds to the experience, I think, for the learners. As I said earlier, we've got 20 assistant trainers. Women assistant trainers, all of these people have qualified as NLP trainers with us, the NLP Academy, and they're now going to the next level, which is new code NLP trainer. And as a new code NLP trainer, they come onto this course as a mentor, you know, so, you know, whilst, you know, the course might be quite intense, you know, you've always got these mentors close to you to support you. You know, any questions you've got, you know, study groups and so forth. So it's going to be such a superb, superb experience. So there are evaluations, the classic code evaluations on the 18th of May in the afternoon. Sometimes we run a part of the classic code the following week as well, just to allow people a bit more time to integrate. And then the new code evaluations on the 27th of May. And that's where we run a series of drills and integration tests, really. You know, for me, it's quite important for you to get value from this course. You know, it's quite important that you walk away with a skill set, you know, and also for us to issue you with an NLP practitioner certificate, you know, from John Grinder, Carmen Bostic Sinclair, and myself, or a new code NLP practitioner certificate. Want to make sure that the people, you know, that we issue certificates to, you know, do have that skill set. So it's a two-way thing, you know. We want to make sure you get value from a skill, you know, walk away with that skill set, and also that, you know, that you represent NLP well and new code NLP well, you know, as a competent coach and NLP practitioner. So your international coaching certificate evaluation is done after the program, where you'll submit 2 videos using the 3-stage coaching protocol. And those 2 videos will be you working, you know, with a client. You know, we want to see that you can do this outside of the class, you know, in a real coaching context. You know, so, you know, I think that's an excellent thing because it does give you an opportunity, you know, to integrate the skills outside of the program rather than evaluating you within. You know, so you've got the new code evaluation on the 27th of May, and then you go home, you practice, submit 2 videos. You know, the mentors will be looking at them, give you direct feedback on your performance, you know, and then you get your coaching certificate. So there's the evaluations. So here is the certificates that the candidates will get. So on successful completion of the course, if you are on the NLP practitioner and international coaching certification, you get 3 certificates: classic code NLP, new code NLP certificate, and international coach certification. Just one thing I want to say. Sometimes if somebody isn't ready to get that certificate, you know, they still have some skills to integrate, what we do is you invite it back to a future evaluation. You know, there's no extra charge for that. You know, you go back to where you are, you practice, you know, and then you come back. You know, and if you can't get back into Europe, you know, because, you know, you're in another continent, usually we've got trainers relatively local to most people in the world, actually, who could evaluate you. You know, there are some exceptional cases, you know, where people are in a country, you know, that is a long way away, where we accept a video of you demonstrating this skill competence. So there's no extra charge for those who need to do a little bit extra work. But as I say, we do take the evaluation process seriously. You know, I want to make sure, you know, that NLP has got that professional reputation, you know, and that we are, you know, teaching people skills, but also ensuring that they've got those skills. So if you're in the international coaching certification, which is the second 8 days, you get 2 certificates. You get a new code NLP practitioner, and you get an international coach certificate. And also, now, if you are on this course, the prerequisite to going on this international coach certification is that you have already a practitioner certificate. You know, so, you know, please submit that practitioner certificate to the NLP Academy. There's the email address there, if you haven't already done so. We're also going to send you a pre-course questionnaire, so we get to know a little bit about you, where you've studied, what your outcomes are, where you want to apply NLP, where you are already applying NLP if you already are. You know, so we can, you know, when we get all the forms in, the pre-course questionnaires in, you know, it gives us a sense as to, you know, who is in the room and what, you know, how what the population, you know, of the group is in terms of outcomes and so forth. You know, so we know how to, you know, best design the program. So here now is some logistics. We're going to send out on Thursday a pre-course questionnaire for you to complete. If you get that back to us as soon as possible, and again, it's a good questionnaire in a sense that it gets you thinking about your outcomes clearly. If you haven't already done that, which I'm sure you have, it gives us a bit of information as to where you are in NLP at the moment, what your outcomes are for the course, your area of application, whether it's going to be business, coaching, education. You know, so we really know how to design the course, you know, dependent on, you know, the population of the course, and also, you know, if they're, you know, how to design subgroups as well. So we're going to get it on Thursday completed. So you're going to send us in a pre-course questionnaire. Now, the course is being delivered in English, you know, and American English. This is the real English, by the way. So when I mean American English, obviously John and Carmen are American, so they speak differently than me. I am from London, so this is London English, really. We have a Spanish and Portuguese simultaneous translation. You know, so if you are Spanish or Portuguese and English isn't easy for you to learn in, so some people like to challenge themselves, we do have those translations. And this will be in the pre-course questionnaire, what is your language choice? So that we know, you know, how many headsets to get and all the translation equipment and also manuals. It's also likely we're going to have an Italian translation. We've got some Italian people come in. And, you know, sometimes, you know, all of a sudden I might, like a few years ago, 8 Russian people booked a program, you know, so we arrange a translation for them, you know. So if you have friends who English is not their mother tongue, and they want to come on this course, if we have a sufficient group, we can arrange a translator. Or sometimes people bring their own, if there's only one or two, they bring their own translation or translators. We need to talk to us about that first, because obviously there is a logistic to where they sit and so forth. So there's going to be a balance payment due for many people, not all. So if you paid a deposit and you haven't, so the balance payments are due 5 weeks before the course starts. So that is 7th of April for the Practitioner International Coaching Certification, and 14th of April for the International Coaching Certification with New Code NLP. Please make sure you do pay the balance before then, because that locks you into the price that you bought the course at, if it was an earlier price, so we really need to get those balance payments in before those dates as well. And your person here, which will be either Josh or Ricardo, we'll be giving you a call anyway, just about your general outcomes, just to connect with you again before the program, so then you better make those transfers then. You're probably aware there are a lot of other courses, there are 6 courses taking place in Sesimbra. So here's something else you may be interested in whilst you're in town. Photo reading, which is 28th, Photo reading, which is the 28th to 29th of May 2018, obviously. Now, I originally put this course in place for the trainers, because they've got a lot of written, they have a written test, so there's a lot of written and reading work for them to do. And then we've got Love Public Speaking, which is module 1 of trainers training, 3rd to 8th of June. So if you're interested in hanging out a little bit longer, you're more than welcome to. We'll give you some special offers on these. If you're a master practitioner already, you can consider the trainers training as well. But just for now, I want to share with you this photo reading course and Love Public Speaking. So with photo reading, you can triple your reading speed and more. Sometimes we had a group here last week. Some people increase their reading speed by 6 or 7 times in the program. It's a great skill to have. As anybody who's learning anything, or there's a lot of written stuff, text to read now as well. So it's a great life skill. And I say we put this in place for our trainers who are going to be taking an intense evaluation, a 4-day evaluation they take. But I just want to share this with you and also offer you the same price that I offered our trainers. The full investment, that's £499, €5,599. And there's an NLP and Sun offer for people who have already booked an NLP and Sun course, which you have, of just £149. So there's 2 extra days there if you want to hang out with us, learn to increase your reading speed. You can share half with your friends as well. As a friend of NLP and Sun, they can have that offer. As a friend of someone who's attending NLP and Sun, they can have that offer for £149. Love Public Speaking, again, is module 1 of trainers training. If you're interested in learning how to apply NLP in public speaking contexts to create stunning, charismatic and memorable presentations, how to use body language, voice tone, metaphors, all that great stuff. You can hang out for another 6 days and attend that program if you choose, and the full investment for that is $1,868. And we just make a nice little offer to people who are on the program of $999. So I want to share those with you. These are, if you're in town, if you are interested in expanding your skill set, either to treble your reading speed or public speaking, have a chat with Josh or Josh or Ricardo here, who will be happy to support you with those programs. So, as I say, let's get back to our little agenda. So, this is what we covered, NLP and Sun 218. This is what we covered tonight. So Sesimbra the region, transportation, accommodation options. Remember, we've arranged some very special offers for you at the hotel and also transportation from Lisbon down to Sesimbra. I've explained to you the course structure, the difference in NLP core skills, primarily Classic Code, the International Coaching Certification, and all the elements within that. Logistics, course documentation, that will be your pre-course questionnaire. Also certificates, if you are attending the coaching course and not the core skills, balance payments and your language choice, and the next steps after the course. As I say, Sesimbra, 40 minutes from Lisbon Airport, and then there is a beautiful place where you will be in the not too distant future. So it's going to come back on video now. I'm looking forward, to meeting you. We'll do a couple of webinars after as well, so you can just connect back with the material. It's been a pleasure to guide you through this. If you've got any questions at all, about travel, getting there, the course itself, we are here to listen and to support you. We're here not just to support you with your course, we're here to support you with everything, to do with this experience. So if you have any questions, please feel free to contact the NLP Academy. Josh and Ricardo are here to help people with their that type of questions. If you want to join us for photo reading, please do. If you want to join us for public speaking, it'd be great to have you there as well. And we will have for sure, I know, a brilliant time. I'm really excited. For me just to get away to 6 weeks I do there. And I just love it. It's like an immersion. So and I just want to share, and I just love to share what I've got, these tools with people. So I see the difference it makes in people's lives. And when you learn NLP, and you may already know it, when you learn NLP, and you do help and make a difference to other people's life, it's just amazing. Now, as you can gather, I can talk. But thank you very much for joining me this evening here, or whatever time of day it is for you. As I say, if you've got any questions, please contact us. Got any friends you'd like to bring along with you? Just let us know. There's still time for them to click on to the program. So I'm going to bid you a good goodbye, or ciao. I should say goodbye. It's a good evening here. 8:05 here in the UK. Not sure what time it is in your part of the world, but wherever you are, have a wonderful evening, nighttime, daytime, morning, and a great rest of the week. Meeting you in Sesimbra. So thank you very much for being here. Bye bye for now.